Hey everybody, my name is Graham Barnes and this is the demo video for All or Nothing Bet ETH Denver Hackathon project submission. This is our North Star. What we have here is a thread between two people in crypto Twitter basically making a friendly wager, a bet about whether Uniswap v3 is going to launch before the end of Q1. And this is really cool to have this public bet, but it relies on social enforcement for the bet to actually be paid out. And essentially the question we're asking is, imagine if a friendly wager gets placed on the blockchain and anyone can stake on the outcome. So the bet becomes open to the community. And what you'll notice is the first feature of this is that our All or Nothing Bets Twitter bot will automatically look for the phrase friendly wager and retweet. Looks like you are looking to make a little bet, care to make it official, and then a link to our homepage, which looks like this. So in our example, the user would arrive here and they would set their bet question. So in this case, will Uniswap v3 launch before Q4 and Q1. We've got this really nice feature that essentially in real time produces the two outcomes. So we've got will and will not. We set a market resolution time as well, which we will set at the end of March, on the last hour, last minute, and last second of the day. All right, token, we're just going to select a little locally generated token. And yeah, this create bet contract. Oops, got to shorten that slightly. So what's happening is we are speaking to a wager factory, which is producing a wager contract with these specified variables. Okay, so as the bet creator, what I have to do is basically specify how much I'm willing to bet and on which outcome. So I think, yeah, Uniswap is going to launch and I'm going to do it for 200 BKBs. Let me approve this first. Okay, that's done. And now I can place the initial bet. And what the initial bet will do is actually take my ERC20s, send it to the wager contract, and then it will mint Gnosis conditional tokens. Okay, transaction's gone through. Okay, and now I can place the initial bet. All right, so my bet has been placed. And the effect of this should be to essentially lock in my bet. And then I'll have to send this URL privately to the person, my counterparty, the person that I'm actively betting against. And that step has to happen before we open up to the community. So awesome. Like my bet's locked. Now I need to send this challenge URL to my counterparty. And that's what I'm going to demo in the next bit now. So I'm going to send this challenge URL directly to my counterparty, and I got to make sure that no one else hops on this initial bet. So I got to direct message to it or send it to it privately. We also have an option to withdraw the bet in case for whatever reason the initial bet creator doesn't want to go through with it. But I send the challenge URL, and if I was to receive the challenge URL, this is what it would look like. We've got the question, we've got the resolution date. What we'll notice is that there's only one option or one outcome for me to stake on, and that's because naturally someone has to take the counter side of the bet. And I've got to approve the same amount of tokens that the initial bettor put down. This is a 1-for-1 bet, and I have to, as a second bettor, I have to match it exactly as inspired by the initial Twitter thread. Okay, so we're just approving the ERC20 token transfer. So The wager contract can take my ERC20s and then send it to the conditional tokens framework. That went through successfully, so now I'm going to match the bet. Come on, MetaMask. All right, that looks good. Okay, and what this should do is essentially get us to the point that we can share this bet amongst the community, and they can then start placing bets with a payout that isn't fixed to one-to-one. All right, here we go. So we got the bet confirmed, and now we can share the bet URL. And I will go into what that user flow looks like in a bit. Bet is confirmed. The initial bettor and the counterparty have locked in their bets, and now it's time to get the community involved. So they can share this bet URL where others can stake on outcomes. Basically, it works in a pooling fashion. So essentially, the winners of this community bet win the collateral of the losers and divide it up between them proportionally, depending on how much they put in. So anyway, we've got this nifty Twitter integration here that will automatically push a tweet to Twitter with the URL challenging people to partake. But I haven't logged into my Twitter, so we're not going to see that. But importantly, if I'm a community member and I come across it, this is the screen I'm going to see. So similar, I've got the two options. And let's say, I do think Uniswap v3 is going to launch. Now, how much do I want to wager? I can put in anything here. I think that's one of the differences. I'm going to be a bit conservative and just put in 30 BKs. The first step, as per normal, is just to approve the ERC20. Right. And once that's approved, I can go ahead and place the bet. And interesting enough, this isn't actually going to mint additional tokens. It's going to sell me some of the conditional tokens that was minted when the original bet is. Okay, awesome. So that went through nice and quick. My bet has been confirmed. And again, we have this call to action to spread the word and spread the bet. So the next thing I'm going to show is just a bet from the other side.
So the question is, will Uniswap v3 launch? By March 31st. We're going to bet an ERC token, ERC20. We need enough funds in our wallet. Better one will bet 200. All right, now they'll take the challenge URL to another account, their friend, who will be betting 200 against. Match the bet. Now you can see on their home that they have 200 wagered on Gnome. Now, after March 31st, it will be possible to go to an oracle. And let's say the oracle resolves that the answer is no. They have not. All right. So the payout is reported. And now, following that date, we will be able to decide the bet. This better because it's bet 200 has won. They will then call for a resolution of the wager. approval of the withdrawals, and finally, a withdrawal of their tokens. So their balance was 300. Success, they've withdrawn their original amount plus the 200.